Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the National Western Stock Show, the 117th National Western Stock Show. We want to invite everybody here today for the National Western Catch-A-Calf Show. On behalf of the National Western Stock Show, I would like to welcome you to that program. A big welcome to those of you joining us through the webcast through Show Barn Flicks. This program started back at the 1935 show at the National Western Stock Show. 10 calves were caught in the arena and taken home from the show to be finished for market. They returned to the show the following year to be placed on show ring appearance alone. After several years, rodeo calves were used for the actual calf catching at the stock show. The calves to be fed were supplied later in the spring. Over the years, many improvements have been made, making the program more practical, teaching members to produce market beef efficiently and to keep good records. The youth are responsible for feeding, care, and management of the calves from May until the show at the National Western Stock Show today. During this time, each youth writes their sponsors monthly, informing them of their progress to their calf and other activities they are involved in. A sponsor's role is supplying the funding for exhibitors' calves and giving them guidance throughout the project. A very close relationship develops between the youth and their sponsor as the year goes on, and often these youth even make lifelong connections with their sponsors. Many of our sponsors have been involved in the program for several years, and we would like to thank each and every one of them at this time. Please give a round of applause for our sponsors for the National Western Catch-A-Calf program. At this time, we would like to have the national anthem and have everyone rise and remove cover for the singing of the national anthem by one of our Catch-A-Calf participants, Maverick Winter.
Okay. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Maverick.
Just like that, we were wannabe rebels that didn't have a clue.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin with the showmanship portion of the Catch a Calf program. All Catch a Calf participants are automatically entered into the showmanship phase of this educational experience. Showmanship is unique because it allows the exhibitors to stand out with their animals' preparedness, knowledge of the industry, and competitive spirit. A well-prepared showman spends hours in the barn working with their animal, and today is a chance to showcase all of that effort. All showmanship classes were broken down by age and will be showing oldest to youngest. Class winners will be given a belt buckle sponsored by the SLW Ranch. Our showmanship judge for today is Larissa Fritz. In the first class, we will have Haley O'Brien from Walnut, Kansas, Taylor Dye from Powell, Wyoming, Elizabeth Quick from Byers, Colorado, Courtney Edenbow from Delta, Colorado, Jessica Jahay from Hazleton, Kansas, Elle Sonnenberg from Sterling, Colorado. Ellie Sonnenberg from Sterling. Lane Sinclair from Fort Collins, Colorado. Jamin Anderson from Riverton, Wyoming. Caitlin Holcomb from LaSalle, Colorado. And rounding out your first class will be Grace Bass from Laramie, Wyoming. In the ring at this time is class number 1 of the Catch a Calf program, Showmanship. At this time, we would like to call for class 2 of the Showmanship. So if you are in class 2, please report to the holding ring for class 2.
She'll start by kicking out of her shoes, losing an earring in her drink, leave her jacket in the bathroom stall, drop a contact down the sink. She don't mean nothing, she's just having fun. Tomorrow she'll say, oh, and how have I done? Friends will joke about the stuff she lost. Yeah, tequila makes her clothes fall off. Oh, tequila makes her clothes fall off. Oh, tequila makes her clothes fall off.
So again, in the ring at this time is the Showmanship portion of the Catch a Calf program for the National Western Stock Show. The purpose of Showmanship is to present the animal in a manner that will develop the most favorable impression on the judge. Today's judges are Larissa and Ben Fritz. Ben and Larissa Fritz are both Colorado natives that reside in Nunn, Colorado, with their son Barrett, who is 2 years old. They run a small club calf operation and both coach the Weld County Livestock Judging Team. Larissa works as the actuary for a life insurance company, and Ben is the sales manager at Zoetis. Ben and Larissa would like to express gratitude for the supporters of the National Western Stock Show's Catch It Calf program. Let's give it up for our judges, Ben and Larissa Fritz.
17's too young to know what love's about. They've been together 58 years now. That's crazy. He brought home 67 bucks a week. Bought a little 2-bedroom house on
So while our judge Larissa continues to work with the first class of showmanship exhibitors in the ring at this time, we want to highlight some of the National Western Stock Show's sponsors. One sponsor in particular is the Colorado Farm Show. The Colorado Farm Show is a proud sponsor and supporter of the National Western Stock Show, and they invite you to attend the 58th Colorado Farm Show, taking place January 24th, 5th, and 6th at the Island Grove Regional Park in Greeley, Colorado. Colorado Farm Show brochures are available ringside or at the announcer's stand. Complete details are also online at coloradofarmshow.com.
And let's get into our first class. So I thought this group was really competitive, really from first all the way down to fifth, and I went ahead and left our top 3 individuals out there so I could talk about each one of them. Young lady, you do an excellent job presenting this calf. You know this guy to a T, and everything you do is very intentional. So I can tell you spent a lot of time, maybe even videoed yourself, really focusing on how that calf looks and what you can do to make him get there. And then on top of that, the quality of his hair looks great today. That takes a lot of work. And I commend you on that. Congratulations. Let's give her a hand. It got really close between the 2 young men that are going to come next in class. Both have that really calm energy presence, right? There could be a tornado in here, and I don't think we would bother either of these showmen, so that's impressive. I like that kind of presence in the show ring. Mix that with a little intensity and some competitiveness, and that's where we're really getting somewhere. Both of these individuals really bring that. Young man, I really like the way you described your calf. I especially liked how you talk about his endpoint, and I'm impressed that you've gained that knowledge about your market steer. You're going to be second for me today. Congratulations. Young man down in third, again, I love how just calm you stay, especially like the tempo of that stick you've got going. It's tempting to get in here and start scratching on those calves a little bit quick, and that gets everybody excited, but you do a really good job just staying calm, keeping your eyes on me, and keeping your calf calm as well. There was a couple of times I looked over and he was maybe just stepped a little far back, but that's just a really nitpicky thing. Congratulations. As we move on down the line, young lady, another showman that just thinks about every single move before you do it. I can see how you're watching me, you're watching everybody else, you're watching your calf. There were a couple times you had to circle him. Love that. If you have to reset your calf, do it as many times as you need. The one suggestion I would have for you is make sure that he's still kind of back in line. He did get a little bit turned away from me at some point, and that just makes it harder for me to compare him to the rest of the cattle in the ring. So that's a really small thing. Congrats. Young lady, that'll be fifth for me today. I can tell you know this steer really, really well, and you're another showman that's just really, really calm. I really like the intensity that you had every time I looked at you. There was that competitive energy going, definitely like that. I think this is another case where there was just a couple of times his top line was down a little bit, and I wanted you to kind of perk him up and get his attention a little bit more. We have the next couple of showmen doing an excellent job. There were just a couple of logistical things, right? Sometimes we get a little bit crammed in the ring, make sure we can give ourselves lots of space. Sometimes we had calves just a little bit elongated, which kind of makes their top line fall out and so forth, but really enjoyed speaking with all these individuals, and if you would, please give this whole class another round of applause.
Results of Class 1 in the Showmanship. In 10th place, Courtney Edinbow. In 9th place, Caitlin Holcomb. 8th place, Grace Boss. In 7th place, Taylor Dye. In 6th place, Haley O'Brien. In 5th place, Jessica Jahay. In 4th place, Ellie Sonnenberg. In 3rd place, Jamin Anderson. In 2nd place, Lane Sinclair. And in 1st place, class winner, Elizabeth Quick. from Levita, Colorado. Cassidy Miracle from Albion, Nebraska. We have Melanie Lara from Ulysses, Kansas. We have Cassidy Larson from Trinidad, Colorado. We have Maverick Winter from Riley, Kansas. Wyatt Stark from Longmont, Colorado. Marissa O'Brien from Walnut, Kansas. And Peyton Baker from Hayden, Colorado. This is class number 2 of Showmanship for the Catch It Calf program.
Big old world outside this little town. Thought that's all I needed to drown you out. It was gonna be easy. It was supposed to be easy. Put some days, put some miles in the rear view. A few state lines between me and you. Just a little space and time, and that'd be fine. But I've been from Savannah to Long Beach, trying to keep your memory out of reach. But there you were in the Delta night, Santa Fe sun, the Colorado sky. I could add another push pin to the map, but that don't stop me from missing you. Looking back, guess it's just one place I haven't gone. I've moved everywhere but on. The mail still going to mama's house, 'cause I'm still long gone trying to figure out who I am without you, why I still think about you. Just biding my time, making ends meet, loading trucks, pouring coffee, pouring concrete, planning my next move, getting over.
Again, in the ring at this time is Class 2 of the Showmanship portion of the National Western Stock Show's Catch It Calf program. The purpose of Showmanship is to present the animal in a manner that will develop the most favorable impression on the judge. Showing properly is an important part of any beef project and an extremely rewarding experience. Showmanship not only generates enthusiasm and competition within the show ring, but also teaches other valuable lessons that can be applied to everyday life. These lessons include accepting responsibility, winning graciously, losing with dignity, and learning the amount of work and determination it takes to become a winner. One of the sponsors to help these exhibitors become winners is Sullivan Show Supply. Sullivan Supply is a family-owned and operated company founded in 1989. As the innovative leader in the livestock show supplies, Sullivan Supply has kept the values of hard work, family ties, and quality products at its core. Sullivan Supply is a proud service of the livestock industry and wishes all the exhibitors of the National Western Stock Show the best of luck.
I needed a little time to think there because this drive got really, really competitive. Let's give the whole class a big hand, please. Overall, all the young ladies that are on the fence really need to be commended in terms of what they were able to do with their calves' hair today, in terms of clipping and keeping it healthy and training it and then getting them ready for show day. There's a lot that goes into that. There's a huge body of knowledge that these kids have to learn and then put into practice, and you all have done an excellent job. All of these calves are very highly presented, so I commend you on that. As far as splitting the hairs between these 4 showmen, I thought it got really close, and particularly close between first and second here. I'll start by describing my second place young lady. You do an excellent job just carrying yourself around this ring, and that sort of energy and presence draws my eye to you right away, and that's a skill you will use later in life. Outside of the show ring, you will bring that with you. So I think that's really important, but it's not just kind of what you're doing with yourself. You make your calf look great as well. Young lady that's going to end up being first, when we talked about your calf, you just unloaded on me in terms of description. You're very knowledgeable about what you thought your calf did really well, and then we talked about a few things where you'd like to change him as well. So that was definitely a good first impression. Love your kind of upbeat energy in this class, and you were both just working these calves the whole time, which I love to see. It got really close because, here and there, we had, a leg back here or one section where I caught one showman's eyes but not the other. So again, thought it was really close between these 2 young ladies. But ultimately, young lady, I appreciate how well you look, make your calf look from the side. I think you really know how to present him, especially from the profile. And congratulations to both my first and second. That's not to take anything away from third and fourth here, because both these showmen do an excellent job. Again, we've got really calm showmen here in third and fourth, and there's something really valuable in that. I guess if I were going to make any recommendations for the 2 of you, I'd say you could turn up the intensity just a little bit. Kind of show me that competitive heat, and that can really make a difference when it gets so close in this drive. But both of you do a great job with your calves. You've done a great job presenting them, and clearly know them very well, so congratulations. Young lady, you were working really hard with this guy, just always after his head, wanting to keep him up. I also enjoyed when we spoke. I thought you were really upbeat, knew a lot about your calf. There was a couple of times that guys just wanted to get a little bit lazy on you, okay, and came down to pretty fine details here. Young lady, I think your calf is another one that's just really, really well presented. The quality of his hair looks really good today, and I commend you on that. Again, there was just a couple of times he was wanting to get a little bit lazy on you, kind of drop that top line and stretch out. So, these big fat steers, sometimes we got to really stay after them to keep them in line, and I think that was the case here. And then we've got 3 individuals that were an absolute joy to talk to at the end. I don't have anything bad to say, just we're in some really intense competition. So once again, let's please give this class a hand.
Ever since the day I turned 21, I got 99 problems, but a drink ain't one. So line up the shots, line up the shots, line up the shots, line up the shots. No last call for alcohol, 'cause we party in the head.
Your results for class number 2 in the Catch It Calf Showmanship: in 9th place, Maverick Winter; in 8th place, Maddie Borum; in 7th place, Wyatt Stark; in 6th place, Cassidy Miracle; in 5th place, Cassidy Larson; in 4th place, Peyton Baker; in 3rd place, Marissa O'Brien; in 2nd place, Melanie Lara; and your class winner, Rowan Wassinger. Some calves are more comfortable than others. They like to take some naps in the ring. That just goes to show you that the exhibitor has done a very good job of making her animal comfortable in this environment. So in the ring at this time is class number 3 of showmanship. We have Wes No from Elizabeth, Colorado. Kelsey McVicker from Bridgeport, Nebraska. Leighton Home from Wiley, Colorado. Alyssa Roden from Elizabeth, Colorado. Shayna Casey from Thane, Wyoming. Maggie Anderson from Yuma, Colorado. Alyssa Rosenhagen from Cheney, Kansas. Coulter McFarland from Fort Laramie, Wyoming. Braden Hazen from Denenbrog, Nebraska. And Olivia Corman from Bridgeport, Nebraska. This is Class 3 of your showmanship for the Catch It Calf program.
of showmanship. And I promise not to take too long, but I would like to take a couple of minutes to just reiterate our gratitude and appreciation for everyone that supports this program, whether that be the donors, any sort of sponsors, anyone that did any sort of clinic, and the National Western staff. Let's please give them a big hand as well. I know there's a ton of heart that goes into this program, and it's really fun. Ben and I are local to Colorado. We love to watch this program every year. And to those of you that supported the program in some way, not only did you give these kids a great opportunity during this year for this project, but this experience will serve them down the road. When they pack up all their stuff and they sell off all their animals and they go to college or trade school or start working or studying abroad, whatever it is, this experience will serve them. And later on, when they walk into corporate offices or start writing pins at a feed yard or start their own cupcake business, I guarantee that the skills they learned in this project will serve them again. So thank you so much. Just from my perspective, I think that you've given these kids a great gift, and I would like to give those supporters another hand. As far as the class in front of me here, guys, these kids are working really hard in the ring. It's a ton of prep to even get in the ring in show day, and that's still taking into account that the show day that they're here is less than 1% of the time that these spend with these animals. So there's a ton of work and effort represented in this ring, and it's evident here. Again, our top 4 showmen here are really competitive. Young lady, I just appreciate how you stayed after this calf, okay? You kept your cool the whole time. I don't care that he tried to lay down in the ring because you just stayed after him. You didn't let yourself get flustered. You just kept working him, and at the end of the day, you were the most consistent. You had your eyes on me every time I looked up at you and had your calf presented extremely well. Congratulations. Young man, you just seem extremely comfortable around cattle. And maybe you just have like a really great bond with this one, but you just seem like you are in your element, and that's noticeable to me. I appreciate how calm you kept him, how calm you kept yourself, and you were still engaged and intentional with everything that you did, so I thought you did a great job. Congratulations. Young lady that's going to be third for me today is perhaps the most intense showman that we've had in the ring so far, and I like that. I like that all that work and effort kind of boils down into, let's go do this. I like to see that when you walk in the ring. You also do a great job knowing exactly where this calf needs to be to make him look his best. Congratulations. And then young lady in the red that's going to go ahead and be fourth for me today, I really want to commend you on the quality of his hair, and I said that to you earlier. Again, that just takes a ton of work behind the scenes to get that hair trained, keep their skin healthy, and overall is a good indicator of overall animal health as well. There was a couple of times he was kind of wanting to sag his top line on you a little bit and get a little bit lazy, but you stayed consistent, and that's why you're going to be here in fourth place today. Congratulations. We didn't really have any sort of, I'm trying to say that the rest of the showmen on the fence today kept their calm extremely well. We didn't have any sort of panic moments. Sometimes it can just be a zoo in the show ring depending on what happens. Sometimes you can have them take off. Sometimes you have kids that don't know where the judge is, but that's just not the case for this group. Young man, I just thought you were just incredibly reliable all the way through. You kept this calf's top line really, real level and just stayed in a slow stick pattern with your eyes on me every time you looked up. I could use a little bit more intensity from you as you think about kind of going into the next class, but you do a good job just keeping really calm and consistent. Nice work. That's the case for the young lady in green that's going to come next. A young lady, if I could, give you any suggestion, it's just to kind of perk that calf up a little bit more. He's wanting to kind of pull that head down on you a little bit. And these fat steers, they tend to get as lazy as they possibly can. They're kind of over it typically. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to keep their head up. It's a lot of work to keep their attention and keep their feet where you want them and so forth. So that would be my recommendation to you. And for the showmen down the line, I think there were just a couple instances where we were a little bit scrunched together, or I would look up and just maybe not see your eyes on me all the time. So as you go into the next class, I would recommend you just give yourself lots of space. Make yourself as wide of a walking space as you possibly can, and that'll allow the judge to see your cattle as best as he can. So thank you, and congratulations again.
Your results from class number 3 of the showmanship: in 10th place, Maggie Anderson. 9th place, Wes No. In 8th place, Shayna Casey. 7th place, Leighton Home. 6th place, Elisa Roden. In 5th place, Braden Hazen. 4th place, Olivia Corman. 3rd place, Elisa Rosenhagen. In 2nd place, Coulter McFarland. And your class winner, Kelsey McVicker. At this time, we will take a short break before we get into the live placings.
It certainly is a pleasure to come out here this morning and sort the Catch a Calf show. I know the wife and I were sure excited as we drove down this morning to come out and get a look at these calves and work with these kids. So, we sure start off the live portion here with a really nice set of steers. Both these young ladies here, I think, have done a tremendous job in terms of feeding these livestock. It's always pretty interesting to me when we get these steers out here that all come from the same ranch and from kind of similar genetics, to see how a little bit, maybe some differences in nutrition have changed these calves as we get them here to their final end point. For me, the young lady in the pink's going to go ahead and start off our class. Nice job. I really like the way that this young lady has presented this steer out here today. He handles with plenty of cover as we get our hands on him. He's probably just a little softer to the touch relative to the steer that's there in second place. Just a really stout, powerful kind of steer that you certainly love the finish and the condition that he offers out here this morning. The young lady there in second, just a tremendously stout and powerful kind of steer. I love this steer right there behind his shoulder. When we get our hands on him, he's got a really big back shape, really expressively muscled. He's just maybe not quite as soft to the touch when we get our hands over him, maybe over those last couple ribs when compared to our class winner. Still a really stout, powerful steer there in second. The young lady steer coming next there in third, one that's extremely powerful. He's probably the most expressive steer that we have here in class. Certainly no shortage of muscle when we look at him right there behind his shoulder. He's just extremely powerful. He's just a little tighter in terms of how he handles those wheels. We need to soften him up and have him just a little more cover over those last couple ribs. Still an extremely expressive steer there in third. As we move on down the line, the young lady's dark-colored calf, one that certainly has had some performance to him. I like the stretch and grow in this calf. He just needs a little more cover to move up today. Kind of some similar things as we move on through the class here. Just a really nice set of steers. They're all really sound. The kids have kept them good in terms of their feet and legs. We just need to make sure we get a little more cover on them to move up today. Let's give these kids a big round of applause.
In seventh place, Wyatt Stark. Sponsor is Kent Dawkins. In sixth place, Maverick Winter. Sponsor is Jeff Vogel and Rawa Ranch. In fifth place, Wes No. Sponsor is Tim Roberts and Joanna Sawyer. In fourth place, Haley O'Brien. Sponsor is Lauren Eccles and Jeanette Rogers. In third place, Alyssa Rosenhagen. Sponsor David Day and Don Treese. In second place, Melanie Laura. Sponsor is Trina and Kirby Clayman. And your class winner is Peyton Baker. Sponsor is Pat Shaw. In the ring at this time is class number 2 of the live placings. We have entry from Jessica Jahay, sponsored by Mike and Eve Hoog. We have Braden Hazen. Sponsor is Kent Vance. We have Cassidy Larson. Sponsor Tom and Kathy Koslecki. We have Jamin Anderson. Sponsor Mark Bowen. We have Maddie Borum. Sponsor Bruce Smart. We have Caitlin Holcomb. Sponsor Bruce Schneider. We have Elizabeth Quick. Sponsor Sue Anschutz Rogers. And the last entry for class number 2 is Elisa Roden, sponsor Ben Duke. This is class number 2 with a weight range of 1282 to 1341. This time it is Ben Fritz. His wife just got done with the showmanship judging, but Ben and his wife are both from Colorado. They are natives and they reside in Nunn, Colorado, with their son Barrett, who is 2 years old. They run a small club calf operation and coach the Weld County livestock judging team. Ben is the sales manager at Zoetis. Ben and Larissa would like to express gratitude to the supporters of the Catch a Calf program and all the exhibitors and wish them the best of luck this year. All right, an announcement. If you were in Class 1, if you would make your way to the backdrop with your sponsor, if your sponsor is here, we would like to have the exhibitors take pictures at the backdrops with the official photographers, with your sponsors, and after each class, Class 1, 2, and 3, we would like you to take pictures at the backdrops with your sponsors, so please do so accordingly. Thank you.
Put mine on my finger, and I gave yours a flame. Across this lonely bedroom of our recent broken home. Yeah, tonight I'm sitting alone, digging up bones. I'm digging up bones. I'm digging up bones. Exhuming things that's better left alone. But I'm resurrecting memories of a love that's dead and gone. Yeah, tonight I'm sitting alone, digging up bones.
Stock Show today. There are 4 classes of live placing, which have been divided by the weight of the calves. In the ring at this time is class number 2. We will hear from our judge, Ben Fritz, as he has been evaluating class number 2.
Well, as we start to get into the heavier weight calves here in Class 2, we certainly find some steers that have plenty of finish to them, plenty of muscle, no shortage there. And so I think we kind of change our priorities just a little bit, and we focus on, the calves that can still get around the ring in a really functional kind of manner. The young lady in the green sweater, a steer that, he's maybe not the prettiest fronted, but one that's just extremely powerful. I love him when I get my hands on him. He's really fresh, and he's got a really good shape right out of the backside of his shoulder. I'd certainly like to clean him up there through that brisket and that chest, but a really stout, powerful steer who still gets around the ring in a really, really good and athletic kind of way. The young man steer there in second, one that I think is just a good combination kind of steer. He handles really fresh with a really stout muscle shape. Like our class winner, we would maybe like to make him just a notch prettier as we study him through that front end, but one that's just ultra complete. The young lady's dark calf that's coming next, probably the one that's most attractive when we get him on the side. That's a steer that really profiles extremely well. Unfortunately, when we get him into motion, he wants to get just a little easy in his top on us, but certainly a really well-presented steer there in third. The young man steer there in fourth, one that handles really fresh. He's just maybe not quite as powerful as the couple steers that come ahead of him. The young lady's peach calf coming there in fifth, one that is extremely stout and powerful. Without a doubt, he probably handles with the most backside shape. Really just a ton of muscle, a ton of expression. We just need to change the way that this calf gets around the ring. He's a little tight when we set him into motion. And as we move on down the line, the peach-colored calf, the white calf after that, some steers that really heavy muscled. Just need to make them a notch prettier as we study them there from the side. Let's give these kids a hand.
He was sitting out back in a rock. He said, "What you been up to lately?" I told him chasing the dollar, and in between sips of coffee, he poured this wisdom out. Said, "If you want my 2 cents on making a dollar count, buy dirt, find one you can't live without. Get a ring, let your knee hit the ground. Do what you love, but call it work. And throw a little money in the plate at church. Send your prayers up and your roots down deep. Add a few limbs to your family tree. And watch their pencil marks in the grass in the yard all grow up. 'Cause the truth about it is, it all goes by real quick. You can't buy happiness."
Once again, as an announcement, we would like to make sure that all the sponsors of the Catch It Calf exhibitors make their way to the holding ring so we can have pictures with sponsors and exhibitors and the animal at the backdrops. So again, if you are a sponsor of one of the exhibitors in the ring, please make your way to the backdrop, as we would like to have pictures taken with your exhibitors.
Find the one you can't live without. Get a ring, let your knee hit the ground. Do what you love, but call it work. And throw a little money in the plate at church. Send your prayers up and your roots down deep. And add a few limbs to your family tree. And watch their pencil marks in the grass in the yard all grow up. 'Cause the truth about it is, it all goes by real quick. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy dirt. You can buy dirt. Thank the good Lord for it, 'cause he ain't making any more of it. So buy
All right, in the ring this time is class number 3. We have weight ranges of 1355 to 1473. We have an entry from Shayna Casey, sponsored by Jeff Weckman, Jeff Narlin, and Chelsea Vineyard. We have an entry from Courtney Edinbow. Sponsor is Kenny Burns and Joey Cusmano. We have an entry from Maggie Anderson. Sponsor Dick and Sharon Lynch, Don and Cindy Fredrickson. We have an entry from Taylor Dye. Sponsor Dr. Mike and Lori Scott of the Adams County Farm Bureau. We have an entry from Marissa O'Brien. Sponsor John Brown and Christy Hawkins. We have an entry from Cassidy Miracle. Sponsor Carolyn and Mark Needley. And our final entry for class number 3 is Grace Boss. Sponsor Dan and Sherry Reynolds. This is class number 3, weight range 1355 to 1473.
Yeah, I'm a mess of a man, but lessons to learn. You're the last thing on earth I deserve. You should have slammed the door, changed the light.
Your results from class number 2. In 8th place, Maddie Borum. 7th place, Cassidy Larson. 6th place, Caitlin Holcomb. 5th place, Elisa Roden. 4th place, Braden Hazen. 3rd place, Jessica Jahay. In 2nd place, Jamin Anderson. And your class winner, Elizabeth Quick. Again, we want to remind that all the exhibitors after your class, please make your way to the backdrops for pictures with your sponsors. And again, sponsors, if we have any of you here in the stands, please make your way down to the backdrop to take pictures with your sponsored exhibitor. A few other announcements for the Catch a Calf program. Loading will take place on the south side of the barn for all of your tack, and releases are in the record books or at the superintendent's office. During the slow time in the ring, we want to make sure we highlight the stock show sponsors, one of them being Weaver Leather. Weaver Livestock is committed to helping you be the very best that you can be. Stop by their booth between the Junior Barn and the Stadium Arena to check out their full line of show supplies backed by industry experts. Weaver is devoted to fueling your enthusiasm for showing livestock with innovative products at the National Western Stock Show.
BFG's coming across the creek, C71, headlights shining through the tree. Boy,
It gets awful close here as we study the top trio of steers. A lot of give and take between all three of them. The young lady steer that goes ahead and starts for me, just the one that really handles with the biggest, freshest shape right behind his shoulder. He's extremely powerful. I really love the finish that this guy's got. He's really correct in terms of that amount. And then he still gets around the ring really athletic. The young lady steer there in second handles extremely stout and extremely expressive. I just like to maybe change the way that calf moves when we get him into motion. He's just a little tighter maybe relative to our class winner. The young lady steer there in third, one that's extremely stout and powerful as well. I love the amount of finish on this guy. He's just maybe not quite as fresh in terms of that shape right behind his shoulder compared to the two ahead of him. The young lady steer moving on down to fourth, one that has been extremely easy feeding. You certainly love the amount of finish that this guy's got, and I expect him to grade extremely high. But with that, he's maybe just pushing a little bit past maybe his optimal end point. He's starting to carry just a little too much finish for me today. The young lady's peach calf coming there next, one that could actually benefit from just a little more cover when we get our hands on him. That's a calf that's extremely expressive. I love his look from the side and the amount of muscle he has to offer. He just needs a touch more cover when we get our hands on him. Kind of similar things with the two steers that round out the class. Some steers that maybe have a little more frame size, but just need a shot more muscle and finish to go with it.
And the live placing of the National Western Stock Show's Catch a Calf program in 7th place, Grace Boss. 6th place, Marissa O'Brien. In 5th place, Shayna Casey. 4th place, Taylor Dye. 3rd place, Courtney Edinburgh. In 2nd place, Cassidy Miracle. And your class winner, Maggie Anderson. Once again, we will remind all the exhibitors and the sponsors to please make sure that they get a picture at the National Western Stock Show's backdrops. Coming into the ring at this time will be class number 4. We have an entry from Lane Sinclair, sponsored by John Matsushima. Leighton Home, sponsored by Jim and Ellen, Nicole and Jeremy DeBacker. Entry from Ellie Sonnenberg, sponsored by Leslie Baldwin. Entry from Rowan Wassinger, sponsored by Daniel Vingus of Excel Energy. Entry from Coulter McFarlane, sponsored by Bill Wanaka. Entry from Kelsey McVicker, sponsored by J&K Anderstrom, David Webster, and Ron Carpenter. And the final entry for class number 4 is Olivia Corman, sponsored by John and Sally Corkle and Tima McIntosh. That will be class number 4 entering the ring at this time.
morning. You know, it's certainly been a pleasure to come out here and sort the live portion of the Catch It Calf this morning. You know, I think, I guess my hat's off to these young individuals. It's been a real pleasure working with them this morning, and kind of echo some of the things my wife said. You know, I think there's a lot of skills that these kids are going to learn from this program. It's going to follow them all the way through. And just to build on that, you know, I hope this program also maybe kind of fuels some passion in them for the livestock industry. You know, there's a lot of companies out there right now looking for individuals to go to work, and I think this program certainly builds a lot of those skills that these companies need. So again, my hat's off to them. Let's give them a big round of applause. The young lady's calf that is going to go ahead and win our Class 4 here, one that I just really like from the profile. You know, he's not the heaviest muscle steer here, and he's definitely not the heaviest finished, but just a really good combination kind of steer. He's really attractive from the side, and he's really athletic when we set him into motion. A lot of times it can be a real chore to make sure that we keep these cattle moving good when we get them up here 1550, 1600 pounds, and I think that calf gets around the ring extremely well. Nice job. The young man steer there in second, one that is extremely stout and powerful as well. I love his backside shape. You get your hands on him right behind his shoulder, and he's just got a tremendous amount of muscle. And then I think he's still correct enough in terms of his finish. He's maybe not quite as athletic when we set him into motion, maybe relative to the young lady's steer, but a darn good steer there in second as well. The young lady's big calf there in third, one that is really stout and powerful. He's maybe, you know, just kind of pushing the upper limits of frame size, but, you know, I've killed a lot of fat steers that I'd certainly wish looked more like him. One that, you know, handles really good and really correct in terms of his finish. He just may be getting just a little bit tall on us. As we move on down the line, a pair of steers that maybe getting just a notch excessive in terms of their finish, maybe relative to their muscle and frame size. I think they're carrying plenty of cover out here today. Steers that are definitely going to go and offer that quality grade. I just wish they had a shot more muscle to go with it. Kind of similar things as we move on down the line, just some steers that need a notch more shape to move up. Let's give these kids one more round of applause.
Your results from class number 4, the live placing. In 7th place, Coulter McFarland. In 6th place, Leighton Home. In 5th place, Kelsey McVicker. In 4th place, Ellie Sonnenberg. In 3rd place, Olivia Corman. In 2nd place, Lane Sinclair. And your class number 4 winner, Rowan Wassinger. Also want to mention that 2 calves will be selected at the conclusion of today's show as the overall grand and reserve grand champion of the National Western Stock Show's Catch It Calf program, and then they will be qualified for the National Western Stock Show's auction of the Junior Livestock Champions held on Friday, January 20th. These 2 calves, which will be designated grand champion and reserve grand champion Catch It calves, will be selected using a point system which includes a record book, sponsor relations, interview, production, live placing, showmanship, and deadlines met with a total possible score of 160 points. Also, this will be the final announcement. If you have not gotten a picture yet with your sponsor, please do so with your animal and your exhibitor back at the backdrop in the holding ring. So please. Even if your sponsors are not present, we do ask that you go back there with your calves and take a picture with the official photographers of the National Western Stock Show. Thank you. Also, some more announcements for probably the parents of the exhibitors. Loading will take place on the south side of the barn for all of the tack. The releases are in the record books or at the superintendent's office. Their pictures at the backdrops. The exhibitors will leave their animals at ringside, tied to the outside, and we will have an awards presentation here in front of the announcers' tables to announce herdsman's awards, overall and reserve, etc., etc. So again, once all the exhibitors are done with pictures with their sponsors or without their sponsors, we will continue as scheduled. Thank you.
All I know about girls is you best get out of their way and shut your damn mouth if she got something to say. It's like, yeah, baby, no, baby, whatever you want, baby, whatever it is my fault. All I know about girls is, and all I know about girls is, I don't know nothing at all. Yeah, I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none, but they sure make learning fun. All I know about girls is the wide world ain't gonna spin without them, but it'll spin around them. All I know about girls is you best get out of their way and shut your damn mouth if she got something to say. You be like, yeah, baby, no, baby, whatever you want, baby, whatever it is my fault. All I know about girls is, all I know about girls is, I don't know nothing at all. And all I know about girls is, I don't know nothing at all.
John Deere. It is the official agriculture and turf equipment provider of the National Western Stock Show. Make sure that you visit your local John Deere dealer for great deals now, and remember, nothing runs like a deer.
No, I'll never get used to you being gone. Yeah, being gone. No, I'm never getting used to you being gone.
Awards ceremony. So if we could have all the exhibitors please make your way to the awards tables just right here in front of the black backdrop, as we will make sure that we announce all of our awards for the Catch a Calf program.
Life without parole. No one could steer me right, but Mama tried. Mama tried. Mama tried to raise me better, but her bleeding.
Out here. So now we're going to start with the awards ceremony. First up will be the Herdsman Award. The Herdsman Award is awarded to an exhibitor who exemplifies the dedication and work ethic that is shown in many parts of their agriculture industry. These youth have put in hours honing their skills and bettering themselves both in and out of the barn. Jim Perry Memorial Award for the Catch a Calf Herdsman will remain in the possession of the National Western Stock Show and be displayed in the livestock office. Each year, the winning herdsman name will be added to the plaque. The recipient also receives a belt buckle sponsored by the Colorado Elks Association and Kenny Burns. This year's Herdsman Award winner, Ellie Sonnenberg. She is sponsored by Kenny and Teresa Burns. Up next, the National Western Stock Show Catch It Calf program has benefited greatly from the involvement of the late Donald Norgren. Mr. Norgren was a longtime cattle breeder in Colorado. He became a member of the National Western Stock Show in 1965 and was named a member of the Board of Directors in 1971, a member of the Executive Committee in 1977. He served many years on the Catch It Calf Committee, always wanting to see the program flourish. He also served as a Catch It Calf sponsor since 1962. To honor his legacy, the first annual Don Norgren Memorial Award will be presented today. Mr. Norgren would be most appreciative of the hard work and dedication these youth have put into their projects, so it seems fitting to present this award to a youth that has strived to succeed regardless of the challenges they were facing. This year's award winner, Maggie Anderson, sponsor Don Norgren family.
I got a 3-night run, we're gonna kick it off in Birmingham.
The Sponsor Relations Award category. Sponsor relations is an important part of developing these exhibitors into well-rounded members of society. Communication skills are a vital part of any industry, and we are grateful that these exhibitors are able to learn those skills through the Catch It Calf program. The sponsors for the Sponsor Relations Division is Olivia Barden. She was a participant in the 2013-2014 Catch It Calf program and was recognized as the winner of this category. Olivia credits the Catch It Calf program with developing organization and leadership skills that have carried over and enhanced her experiences in many other activities. Olivia is excited about the opportunity to continue to support the program by sponsoring these awards. Thank you, Olivia, for the continued support of the Catch It Calf program. In 9th place, we have a three-way tie. Cassidy Miracle, Jennifer Roden, and Melanie Lara. Sorry, Eliza. In 8th place, Rowan Wassinger. In 4th place, with a fourth-way tie, Eliza Rosenhagen, Maddie Borum, Peyton Baker, and Roberta Hazen. And in 3rd place, Ellie Sonnenberg. In 2nd place, Lane Sinclair. And your first place winner, Coulter McFarland. Up next is the record books. The record-keeping portion of the production phase equates to 40% of their overall score. Each contestant completes a separate record book, which helps them understand the economics, nutrition, and proper health care and feeding of a calf. All of these skills learned through this portion of the program are essential for many facets of life. Participants in the Catch It Calf program will have an advantage later in life because they learned these skills early on. Ribbons are provided to the contestants in the record book category placing 10th or higher. Awards are provided for the top 3 record books. These awards are sponsored by Alicia Downing and Rob DeVoter of Wiley, Colorado. Thank you, Rob and Alicia, for your support of the program. Tied for 9th place, Coulter McFarland and Eliza Roden. Two-way tie for 7th place, Maddie Borum and Leighton Holm. In 6th place, Jessica Jahay. Two-way tie for 4th place, Peyton Baker and Rowan Wassinger. In 3rd place, Olivia Corman. In 2nd place, Lane Sinclair. And in 1st place, Ellie Sonnenberg. Up next will be the interview division of the program. The Catch It Calf participants take part in an interview process. The process is worth 20% of their overall score. The participants had to give a 2-minute speech on often people having the misunderstanding of the Catch It Calf is simply a free steer that you get to show at the National Western Stock Show. How would you refute that claim and explain what the program means to you? And spend the remaining 3 minutes answering questions from the judges. The judges' scores were averaged to get overall interview scores. 1st through 10th place receive ribbons. 1st through 3rd place winners will receive a banner sponsored by Brooklyn Salo. Thank you, Brooklyn, for your sponsorship of this award area. A two-way tie for 9th place, Jessica Jahay and Haley O'Brien. In 8th place, Leighton Home. Two-way tie for 2nd place, Olivia Corman and Eliza Rosenhagen. In 4th place, Eliza Roden and Rowan Wassinger. In 3rd place, Caitlin Holcomb. In 2nd place, Shayna Casey. And your interview division winner, Lane Sinclair. At this time, we will recognize the top 15 individuals in the production phase of the Catch It Calf program. These scores are determined by combining points from the industry index, which includes final weight, feed efficiency, and cost of grain. They'll also be scored on sponsor relations and record books. The overall winner of the production phase will receive a belt buckle sponsored by the Ed Schnell family of Wheatland, Wyoming. The second overall production phase winner receives a belt buckle in memory of Jim and Doris Keister, longtime supporters of this program. The buckle is donated by the Colorado Elks Association, and thanks both of you for the sponsors of the support of the Catch It Calf program. In 15th place, Peyton Baker. In 14th, Ellie Sonnenberg. Thirteenth, Shayna Casey. 12th place, Melanie Lara. 11th place, Jamin Anderson. 10th place, Eliza Rosenhagen. 9th place, Grace Boss. 8th place, Cassidy Miracle. 7th place, Coulter McFarlane. 6th place, Jessica Jahay. 5th place, Eliza Roden. 4th place, Leighton Home. 3rd place, Maddie Borum. 2nd place, Rowan Wassinger. And 1st place, Lane Sinclair. The original hope of the Catch It Calf program was to raise tomorrow's producers, teaching the importance for production and the production side of agriculture as an integral part of the program. Through proper care and management, these exhibitors are raising a meat animal that will eventually find its way into the food supply chain. Encouraging these proper care and management practices helps to ensure the safety of our consumers. The carcass phase of the contest will be completed following the processing of the animals. Additional premiums will be paid to the top 15 contestants, and the highest scoring member will receive a special award sponsored by the Bill Wanaka family. Thank you to Bill Wanaka family for the support of this award area. Again, that award will be presented later. And now, the overall Grand and Reserve Grand. An overall Grand and Reserve Grand champion Ketchikan participant are selected by placing highest with their combined scores for their record book, sponsor relation letters, interview, production phase, live placing, and showmanship with the highest possible score of 160 points. The two individuals are Reserve Champion Ketchikan, exhibited by Lane Sinclair. Lane will be receiving a belt buckle sponsored by Mike and Eve Pugh and a jacket sponsored by the Lucky Cross Ranch. Your grand champion, Ketchikan, is exhibited by, oh, I got everybody excited, even myself. Do I get the thumbs up now? Okay. All right. Your grand champion, Ketchikan, exhibited by Rowan Wassinger. Ms. Wassinger will be receiving a belt buckle sponsored by Mike and Eve Pugh and a jacket sponsored by the Spain family. Thank you everyone who participated in this year's program. We know that it was a unique year and we appreciate everyone from the bottom of our hearts. We commend each of you on your hard work, dedication, grit, and tenacity throughout this whole process. We hope that the skills that you've learned and others will carry you through the long and prosperous life of your bright future. Best of luck wherever you go in life. The success of the Ketchikan program over the years has been due in part to the cooperation of the National Western Stock Show, the sponsors, extension programs, and hundreds of members and families working together. Thank you to everyone. Congratulations to all the participants and a job well done.